For me, turn-based strategy games are more yawn-based strategies, so to be completely honest, I wasn't really looking forward to trying out Ghost Recon Shadow Wars. I like fast-paced, action-packed games, not slow plodding games of cyber chess. Then I found out that the creator of the game was Julian Gollop, who was once responsible for one of my all-time favouriteest Spectrum games ever, Chaos. Sure, it was also a turn-based strategy, but you could have up to 8 players at once, and there were wizards and minotaurs and medusas and orcs and well, you get the point. It was awesome, and basically at that time there was no such thing as Duke Nukem or Doom. So anyway, as soon as I knew that, I was ready and willing to dive straight into the Shadow Wars, and boy am I glad I did. It's presented in a top-down isometric style like the Zeldas of old, but using the thumbstick you can rotate the camera to check out your surroundings, which look really cool in 3D. Graphically, the characters and buildings are very basic, but the effect the 3D brings to the game works really well. Deep holes look like deep holes, the buildings look chunky and solid, and overall it gives the feeling that you are playing a Warhammer game with actual toy soldiers. It's understated, but somehow that works in its favour. The game puts you in the many boots of the Ghosts, who are super stereotypical badass American soldiers trying to stop some cranky Russian dudes doing bad stuff to the world. Or something. And as you progress through the game, you will build up your fire team and meet new members who will join your squad. Each soldier has their own unique skills which you must micromanage and upgrade via a simple levelling system which awards stars at the end of each level that you can share amongst your most valued teamsters. Movement and attacking are all done via a simple control scheme whereby each character has a certain number of squares they can move depending on the terrain and surrounding landscapes. For instance, moving through bushes or water will reduce the number of squares your characters can travel. Green squares show where you can attack from, and again, objects and terrain must be taken into account if you wish to succeed. Shooting from a high vantage point will increase your damage multiplier, but may leave you open to attack, while taking cover in a building will reduce the damage you take, but your attack range will ultimately suffer. When you finally defeat an enemy, they will bizarrely disappear into a puff of smoke, never to be seen again, which is kind of weird, but be warned, even though you can at times control up to 6 ghosts, each one is a separate game character with a part to play in the overall storyline. So if one of the team dies, it's game over, man! Game over! And you'll have to start the mission afresh. So make sure you're constantly healing your soldiers and moving them around in groups so they can provide support and cover fire when the poop hits the fan. Another disappointment is the lack of online multiplayer. All that exists is a kind of pass the parcel mode which lets you and a friend take it in turns to play using the same 3DS. It's not the end of the world, it just would have been nice, you know, just nice. To someone who has never played a game like this before, a lot of this review must have sounded like boring gibberish, and to be fair, at first glance, Ghost Recon does look boring. Spend enough time with it though, learn the controls well enough, and you will be absorbed into the tactical side of war. Whether you are working out flanking manoeuvres or setting up a defensive perimeter, if your planning pays off, the sense of achievement is a reward in itself. Lovers of turn-based strategies are in for an amazing treat, courtesy of one of the genre's legendary programmers, while noobs should try to overlook their preconceptions because they may just discover a love for a whole new gameplay style. Oh, and this game at full price does actually give value for money, as it lasts much, much longer than any of the other launch titles available, especially as one of them only has a 2-hour lifespan. Yes, that's right, I'm looking at you, Super Monkey Ball. Short.
Bye.